A peaceful beginning. The story opens in Forks, Washington, several years after the events of Breaking Dawn Part 2. The Cullen family appears stronger than ever, maintaining their careful balance with humans. Bella and Edward live a serene life, while Renesmee, now fully grown into her eternal young adult form, enjoys time with Jacob and the rest of her extended family. For the first time, the Cullens feel they've achieved a lasting peace. But beneath the surface, Renesmee is restless, sensing her life is meant for something greater. Though she looks 20, Renesmee still feels young and unfinished inside. She struggles to fit into the vampire world, often envying her human friends at school who talk about aging, careers, and children. Meanwhile, she doesn't quite belong in the human world either. Jacob's loyalty brings comfort, but Renesmee feels suffocated by his constant watchfulness. These emotions spark tension, setting up her inner conflict. Renesmee begins experiencing strange, haunting dreams filled with images of fire, crimson skies, and shadowed figures with glowing eyes. Unlike normal nightmares, they feel prophetic. Bella grows concerned, believing Renesmee's hybrid nature might be evolving into something beyond vampire or human. Alice tries to see Renesmee's future, but her visions are clouded and fragmented, making everyone uneasy. A new figure arrives in Forks, Luciana, a mysterious hybrid vampire from South America. She claims to come from an ancient line of half-vampires that have survived in secret for centuries. She tells Renesmee of an ancient prophecy, the Eternal Dawn, where a hybrid child would rise to either unite immortals and mortals or plunge the world into destruction. Renesmee is shaken. She's never thought of herself as anything more than her parents' daughter. Jacob grows suspicious of Luciana. He feels her presence is manipulative, possibly a trap. His protectiveness over Renesmee borders on controlling, and this creates friction between him and Renesmee, who resents not being trusted with her own choices. The old tension between vampires and wolves resurfaces as Jacob accuses the Cullens of welcoming danger too easily. News spreads. The Volturi are not defeated, only weakened. Arrow, obsessed with control, learns of Renesmee's dreams and growing powers. He views her not just as a hybrid curiosity, but as a weapon capable of reshaping the vampire order. Caius, still bitter from their last humiliation, demands immediate action. Marcus, however, begins questioning whether endless rule is worth the suffering it brings. Seeds of discord grow inside the Volturi. Sensing war, Carlisle reaches out to old allies. The Denali Coven arrives first, pledging loyalty. The Amazons and Irish follow. Even the Egyptian Coven sends envoys. The werewolf packs, though hesitant, agree to stand guard in Forks. But tension simmers. Some vampires are wary of Renesmee's potential power, and some wolves whisper that she is unnatural. Trust is fragile, unlike the united front in the last Volturi conflict. Volturi scouts infiltrate the forests of Forks, leading to a brutal skirmish. For the first time, Renesmee fights seriously and unleashes a terrifying new ability. Instead of merely showing her thoughts, she projects visions directly into the minds of enemies, forcing them to relive their worst fears. Both allies and enemies are stunned, leaving many unsettled by the scale of her power. After the battle, allies argue bitterly. Some covens fear Renesmee, maybe just as dangerous as the Volturi, capable of becoming a tyrant herself. Even within the wolf packs, voices rise suggesting they cannot trust her. Jacob finds himself caught between defending Renesmee and listening to his pack's fears. The unity of the alliance crumbles, leaving the Cullens isolated. Confused and heartbroken, Renesmee seeks out Luciana again. Luciana tells her that hybrids have always been feared, hunted, or used as pawns, but the prophecy means Renesmee can break the cycle. She can either become a bridge between worlds or a spark of war. Renesmee wrestles with her destiny, fearing that whatever choice she makes will cost lives. Bella is haunted by the thought of losing Renesmee, not to death, but to fate. She clings to her daughter, trying to shield her from danger, but Edward quietly reminds her that Renesmee is no longer a child. Bella's maternal instinct clash with Renesmee's independence, and for the first time, Bella must step back and trust her daughter's decisions. Luciana guides Renesmee to South America, where an ancient temple built by the first hybrids still stands. Carvings depict battles between humans, vampires, and hybrids. Renesmee touches the stone altar and is overwhelmed by visions. She sees a world where mortals and immortals coexist peacefully, but also glimpses of fire, betrayal, and destruction if she fails. The burden becomes heavier. The Volturi attack the temple, catching the Cullens and their allies off guard. In the chaos, Arrow confronts Renesmee directly, attempting to seize her. But when he touches her, she overwhelms him with a vision of his own death, his empire collapsing, his body burning. For the first time in centuries, Arrow is paralyzed by fear, realizing Renesmee could destroy him without lifting a hand. Amid the chaos, one of the allied covens betrays the Cullens, revealing they had secretly aligned with the Volturi for promises of power. This betrayal leads to casualties, leaving Carlyle gravely wounded. The betrayal shakes the alliance further, and Renesmee blames herself, believing her very existence is tearing apart everything her family fought to protect. In a quiet moment after the battle, Jacob opens his heart. He admits that his imprint on Renesmee, though instinctual, feels unfair, binding her future to him without her choice. He offers her freedom, even if it means she walks away. Renesmee is deeply moved, realizing Jacob's love is genuine, not just fate. This moment redefines their bond, making it one of choice, not obligation. The Volturi launch their final assault at the temple. The Cullens, wolves, and remaining allies fight desperately. Renesmee steps into the center of the battlefield and unleashes her full ability, projecting a massive shared vision. Every combatant, Volturi and ally alike, sees one another's pain, memories, and hopes. The battlefield freezes as all sides are forced to face their shared humanity. The vision shatters the Volturi's unity. Marcus, weary of endless centuries of tyranny, turns on Arrow, striking him down. Caius, consumed by rage, is slain by the wolves. Arrow, weakened and abandoned, is destroyed by Edward and Bella in a climactic moment. The Volturi dynasty, feared for centuries, finally crumbles. With the Volturi gone, the vampire world descends into uncertainty. Renesmee, standing at the temple altar, proposes a new covenant. No single coven should hold power over all others. Instead, alliances should be based on respect, coexistence, and secrecy. Some vampires agree, others flee into the shadows, but the first steps toward change are taken. Renesmee embraces her destiny not as a ruler, but as a bridge. She declares she will travel the world, helping vampires, wolves, and humans learn to coexist. Jacob chooses to walk with her, but this time as her equal, not her protector. Bella and Edward, though torn, accept that their daughter must carve her own path, just as they once did. The final scene mirrors the beginning of Twilight. Renesmee stands at the edge of sunrise, light spilling across her face. The world has changed, fragile, uncertain, but filled with hope. Bella and Edward watch from a distance, proud and bittersweet, as their daughter begins a new chapter. The eternal dawn has come, not an ending, but the beginning of a new era.